Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I have some new makeup I want to try with you guys today. It's from Chanel's spring launch. And what I have here is the blush in Peche Rosee. Very pretty. And also a new quad, 747 Mediterranean. And when I saw these online, I thought it looked similar to a couple of Chanel's releases from last year. And now that I have them and can see them in person, definitely. So we will be doing some comparisons at the end like usual. But the two products I have in mind from last year are going to be the Fleurs de Printemps blush and highlighter duo. I'm just going to hold up Peche Rosee here. So you can see the blushes, definitely some similarities. I do think there's a bit more orange and this is a bit more pink, but we'll find out just how much, how similar or how different they are. And for the quad, I do think it's similar to the Beige Intense palette released last summer. Not the same here because this is more green, but there's a few of that, you know, the browns and the champagne shades here. We'll see how similar they are. I'm going to swatch everything that I have for today and then we will get into a demo. Both the blush from this collection and the quad are limited edition, so I do recommend if you like what you see to not wait too long to get it because both, actually just the blush and highlighter, this is sold out. This was limited edition. It's sold out, so you can no longer get it online, at least not new from a retailer. And good news though, the Le Beige Intense Quint is still available from Chanel's website. It's very classic Chanel. They are light shades. I do think they are buildable, and when I look at it like this, I definitely see a bit more of the texture. This shade here is definitely the most sparkly out of all four, and it is one of those, you know, inner corner highlights, brow bone highlights if you wish. These two are the more subtle metallics. They do have some glitter to them, but you know, they're there to either give you a bit more illumination in your look and then using this deeper shade to add that dimension and texture. Taking from the blush, it's a really pretty shade and it definitely has radiance to it. I'm going to go back for a second application. And the texture is quite, it's quite tacky, not tacky. It feels kind of creamy and it doesn't quite glide on like a soft, silky powder. So I wonder how it's going to feel as I put it on my cheeks. But the sheen, the radiance is a bit of a golden tone. Okay, interesting. I couldn't tell from just looking at it, but now that I know what I'm looking for and I'm moving it around like this, I can kind of see it, just the gold sparkles in this formulation. Taking the shade here, I'm placing that all over the lids. Then going into the shade here, I'm just gonna layer it on top of the shade we placed earlier, just above the lash line and working it to the center of the lid. This is definitely more glittery and brighter than the previous shade. Going into the deepest shade now, I'm going to build some dimension in the look. Now I'm going to buff that out and move it towards the crease and further into the outer corners. Then I'm placing the brightest, most glittery shade on the inner corner. And I'm popping that onto the center of the lid. I'm repeating these same steps on the other side, then we'll come back for the blush. For blush, I'm taking Rephr's 04, this angled small blush brush, and we're going in. It is a pigmented blush. So let me go light-handed here, dab some of the excess off. And I wonder if you can see the sheen as I'm turning. It has like a golden reflective quality to it. And I'm just gonna sweep some on my nose instead of putting highlighter on today. I'm just gonna use this blush to give more color to my complexion. For lips, I like to revisit my Chanel Rouge Cocoa Bloom lipsticks. I picked up 4 shades when these launched. This was a new line for the brand last year. And you know, I haven't really gone back to them too much. I know I really enjoyed 2 of the shades. So let's see what might be a good fit here for today. So the Rouge Cocoa Bloom lipsticks, they are, I'd say they are like glossy lipsticks. Pretty pigmented. Some of your natural pigments will come through, and this is Marvel. It will come through, but it has a glossy finish, and it does have a stain power like a nice satin lipstick. This is Dream, and this was one of the 2 shades that I really liked. And I'm gonna put this aside because I think Dream would just go with this soft look. Then we have Chance, another one I really enjoyed. Chance is a bit more kind of mid-tone. This is Radiant, the deepest shade I picked up at the time. I don't know. Maybe Marvel, you know, just to give everything a little bit more color because I think this is so soft. But then to go with the blush, I do think Chance might be the best fit. All right, let's go with Chance and let's see how that looks. I feel like this is such a classic look, kind of a sparkly, neutral-like eye, and then this radiant blush that the way that I applied it was just light enough. Certainly if you go back in to build more applications, you can get a really pop-in look. And then for lips, something that's not too pale or bright, just like right in the middle, rosy, pinkish. So I think paired with this dress here, I feel like this is such a, a classic look. Let's go into the comparison. So first I have the Fleurs de Printemps. We're going to swatch the blush here. And I already feel like it is more pink. Yes, it is more pink. This is definitely more coral in comparison. This does have a bit of a sheen and it will give you radiance, but it's not quite as obvious and stand out as the Peche Rosee. Then for the highlight, because we're in the product anyway, the highlight is quite pink and cool in comparison to this kind of coral blush with that gold reflective quality. And for the Beige Intense palette, I'm going to swatch these 3 shades here. Given how light and sparkly these are, I think texture-wise they are pretty similar to 747 Mediterranean, but these shades overall from the Le Beige Quint are warmer, and this was released during the summer. Because of these kind of glitter finish, it does remind me of sand or water having light reflected on it and has that glisten. So I think because maybe just the timing of when this was released, New Year, it definitely is much more sparkly, and I think just more eye-catching as it sits in the pan versus Le Beige. But I think Le Beige, because of that additional shade and deeper shades being included, it probably will give you, well, I've used it quite a few times. It definitely does give you more dimension, but I will say the deepest shade here, it really nicely kind of deepened my look just the way I wanted to. It was easily buildable. So while this one can give you a bit more in terms of more intense color payoff and maybe more variety in your look, I think this is actually pretty suitable. It's actually really pretty quad for this time of the year. And I do have a few other Chanel quads that I want to take out. Just one to show you guys the difference in the texture, the finish of the eyeshadow. Specifically, I chose the Quad Lumiere and Vibrations. You can see here, this is much more metallic, the finish of the eyeshadows, and I'll swatch a few of the shades. So overall, I find them to be your classic metallics, but they are quite intense in color payoff in comparison. So this is definitely on the lighter side, and it's more sparkly overall, whereas compared to this quad, these are more metallics, and they're classically Chanel, where it's light, it's ethereal, but they are slightly more intense. That is my review and demo of these new Chanel items, and I do really like the blush. My skin has been pretty dry between the high and low temps we've been getting, just the fluctuations, and the heat's been coming on. So I just feel like anything I could, whenever I put on makeup, anything I can get to put on my face to give me a bit more radiance, I definitely gravitate towards that, and this was sort of excellent. It just gave me radiance, some golden tone to it. The quad, of course, sparkly, gives you a bit of a wet look, I would say, when the light hits it a certain way. And then with the Cocoa Bloom lipstick too, being that it is glossy and finished, just I think it's really live in my complexion overall. So let me know what you think of these new products below. I will say the Le Beige Intense Quint is still my favorite. I don't think this one, you know, has knocked it or dethroned that palette, but this is a really pretty ethereal soft palette from Chanel that I also like. And the blush, I'm gonna go with the highlighter duo being the one I like a little bit more, but Peche Rosee is no slouch, and I'm looking forward to using this in the coming weeks. Thank you guys for watching. See you in the next one. Take care. Bye.